So, like I said, just try to watch out for the falling rocks if you can.
Alright.
Whatever. Let's see if they might drop me a heart. Oh, thank you, fairy. Thank you. Alrighty. Alright, so yeah, go ahead, right up these stairs. And yeah, like I said, be a little careful with the blue line only if you can help it.
Yeah, be careful. These guys do pack a punch, so be very careful.
But pretty much I was able to kill it just fine. So, alright, now we got the white sword.
Master, you sing it and you can have it.
Well, I stabbed you all, man. Does that mean I can master it now? Anyway, alright, so now that we got the white sword, we are on our way to the second dungeon. And yeah, pretty much like I said, the level 1, dungeon 1 was the only dungeon where pretty much it was still in the same location. Right off the bat, all the other dungeons are going to be in different spots, starting with dungeon 2. And where dungeon 2 is located is actually a little interesting. It's actually located right in the spot where the blue ring, was, during the first quest, actually. So pretty much if you so pretty much like if you remember where the blue ring was and everything, then pretty much that's where the second dungeon is.
Alright.
Oh, yeah, actually, you know what? Let me see if I can try again. Yep. Oh, I still blocked you. There we go.
Haha, fuck you.
Yeah. Woo! Alrighty.
But the annoying part about him is that he respawns, like...
Yeah, he does respawn and everything. Actually, fun fact, that was one of the few enemies that was actually had a sprite difference between the Japanese and this version, actually.
Actually, yeah, that's right, actually. You're right, because I remember in the Japanese version it looked very different.
Yeah, pretty much like, his mouth was actually closed and everything, and like, pretty much like the ring around him was supposed to, like, you know, pretty much show that, like, yeah, he's actually literally coming out of the water and everything. Where pretty much in this version and such, like, you know, he's opening his mouth to, like, to pretty much, like, you know, let the players know that, like, yeah, he's about ready to shoot his, fireballs at you. Alright, so if we go right up here, this is where the second dungeon is. So pretty much like, yeah, so it's in that same armor statue to where like the blue ring was. So right in here. Touch. And here we are, second dungeon. And like I said, right off the bat, you could, this is gonna be a hard one because already we got the mummies. Now the mummies are not too bad, like, you know, as long as you got your sword beams and everything, or even your boomerang and such, then they're not really all too bad. And I believe if you do kill them... Ooh, stopwatch. Pretty much if you kill them, then I believe they are going to leave you with a key. And there it is.
Alright.
Right, and up here, we also got our good buddy Gels.
Hello, brothers.
Hello, brothers. And we got some bats.
Son, we're looking for the Dorito. Have you seen this a monstrosity?
Oh, it's the CDI Zelda game. Take it away, take it away.
Oh, come down, boy. It's just a picture, not the real thing. I'm gonna show you this picture again, and if you see this guy, just let us know, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I can't with that scene. Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty much a 40. Honestly, that's a funny scene. I definitely love the grins on the policeman's face. We're pretty much just looking at each other to be like, yeah, let's go ahead and ruin this man's career.
I saw an edit where they basically put Patrick Mahomes' face on SpongeBob where SpongeBob is supposed to be, and Patrick is Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills. That was so fucking funny as hell.
Oop. Okay, I got one more. And all right, well, we're gonna have to start stabbing then.
Yeah, this guy's pretty annoying. Very
annoying. Yeah, pretty much the bad thing is I do have to kill him, actually, because, like, he actually leaves a key and such. So, alrighty, well, there's our first... Alright, well, right off the bat, that's our first death and such. It's definitely not gonna be the last. So, alright, well, let's see if they... Okay, let's see if they at least give me a bomb, or to give me, like, a heart at the very least. Actually, yeah, I can use this. Whoop. Oh, that's a heart. Yeah, I just wasted it. Alright, well, no bomb. Let's see. I'll take the rubies. Alright, you know what? Yeah, let me actually kill them to see it. Just in case. I think they might actually drop bombs. Let me see. Whoop. Okay, and I gotta kill them. Okay, well, if it ever gets to be too much, then maybe I might, like, you know, go back and get a bomb and such. Okay. Alright, so for this one, I'm actually gonna ignore him for now. Until I at least get a bomb. Alright, well, we got some dark nuts, so let's see, they might be a little generous.
Remember, my trick is not to make direct contact with them. Just, you know, do it from far away as possible.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. Whoop. There we go.
There we go. Alright.
And, okay, well, they didn't leave me with nothing, so... alright. Usually the gel sometimes gives me something, so let's see if they do. Even a heart. I'll take a heart now. Alright, well, we got a map, and yeah, it's the shape of a letter A!
Alright, so E-A.
Yeah. Oh god, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Like, you know, pretty much is Zelda trying to tell us something here? Like, yeah, we're pretty much getting killed by EA here.
EA.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I feel about them.
Alright, well, pretty much that's our second death right there. So, we're already off to a good start here, folks. Alright, we're still gonna kill them just until I at least get some kind of heart or something. At least a heart or a bomb. That's all I think that's all I really want. Just a heart or some bombs.
Man, you really put them all in one spot, and then you just like.
Yeah, pretty much, just like that.
All right.
Yeah, because I know they they should drop bombs sooner or later. Yeah, there we go. All right, we got the bombs. Let me at least see if I can at least try to get some more hearts if I can. All right, I'm gonna leave that one alive for now. Whoop. Yeah, pretty much like, the one downside with the normal boomerang is that, like, it can only go, like, halfway across the screen. Like, it can't go, like, all the way just yet, not until, like, we get the magical boomerang. There we go.
Oh, we got one shot too.
Alright, so pretty much now we're all done with that. Actually, yeah, I'll go ahead and kill them again, just to make sure they can give me some hearts.
Remember, don't make direct contact with them. Just do one at a time.
Yeah, whoop. Alright, there's one heart. I killed the masters. Okay. Alright, now here's a new thing that was only featured in the second quest of The Legend of Zelda. So there is a dungeon item right over here, but it's only but you can only get it through like the middle part of the A. So normally you think, okay, well, do I have to place a bomb? Nope, that doesn't work. So what else can it work? Yep, invisible walls. This was pretty much a gimmick only featured in the second quest. Now, pretty much you do have to be careful, because, like, even though there are some walls to where, like, yeah, you can go back and forth and everything, there are also other invisible walls that are only one way and such. So, pretty much if you use that invisible wall, like, you cannot, like, use that invisible wall to go back the way you came. So, pretty much, like, if you want to get back to that location where the invisible wall was, then pretty much you gotta do a runaround. But pretty much, like, yeah, if you go right here, and we're already presented with the recorder.
Now you may be thinking, man, that was quick.
Yeah, it is. That is very quick, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Because pretty much, like, we got the map, and we also got, like, the dungeon item, but we still need the compass. And I do know where that compass is, actually. And we also still need to beat the boss as well, too.
Of course, I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's one thing this game is known for, is that Link looks a little weird at times.
Yeah, pretty much he has his derpy expression sometimes. Alrighty. Now this one, okay, like this one we are gonna actually have to kill these enemies and such, cause like they actually do drop a key later. They actually do drop a key in this room and such, and we actually do need as much keys as we can.
Be careful with these guys pack a punch, so be very careful.
Yeah, they do. Pretty much my strategy with them is that, like, you know, if you don't have the bow and arrow and everything, then pretty much just try to wait, like, patiently as you can, and make sure that, like, you know, they try not to follow you too much. Like, yeah, if you can help it to where, like, you know, they don't really follow you too much, then you'll be okay with them. Cause, like, yeah, like, we got the arrows, but we're not gonna get the bow till a very good while in the second quest. So, pretty much until then, like, yeah, the only way for you to kill the pole voices is pretty much just, like, you know, pretty much just get them with your sword and such. And you cannot stun them with a boomerang. I've tried, and yeah, that doesn't work. Anyway, so this is the room where the compass is as well, too. So, alright, I'm gonna try my best not to get hit by the dark nuts. Okay, here's the compass. And I do have a feeling I think we are gonna die here again. But I think there should be another place.
Oh, they're not. Alright, so these guys are not.
I think this will only get you bombs, so I'm not gonna worry about this one. But this one, like, yeah, they do leave you with the key. So let's see if I can try to get it.
And the statues are activated, which is the worst part. Yeah, I really hate when they're activated because they're very annoying.
Yeah, pretty much, like, yeah, they're pretty much almost everywhere in the second quest. So yeah, so pretty much, like, yeah, you might as well get used to that.
Man, that's not good.
Yeah.
Hey, it's second quest, so.
Yeah, pretty much the second quest, and like I said, like, even though it's not, like, you know, hard mode Zelda in a way that, like, you know, arcades used to call games like hard mode and such, it is still hard mode. It still presents you with, like, a good amount of challenge in this quest and such.
Hey, but at least the second quest on Mario 1 was, you know, pretty easy, you know.
Yeah, pretty much it was, because, like, yeah, technically, like, you know, the only quote-unquote second quest it was is that, like, pretty much they replaced the Goombas with the Buzzy Beetles and such.
That's not all, actually. They also, fire bars will appear everywhere on castles.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what else.
I know, like, some of the platforms will get smaller as well, too. And, pretty much, like, the enemies will also get, like, faster as well, too. And, hey, alright. Thank you, Fairy. Alright, here's our boss, Gleeok. Yep. And thankfully he's only 2 ahead, but yeah, okay, I really gotta be very careful with this guy. Oh. And yeah, there's my cat again. Yeah, I know. Alright, hold on, Casey, hold on. Hold on. Alright, so I get this Triforce piece. Okay, never mind, she's gonna sleep on the couch now. She just wanna let me know that she's gonna, she just wanna let me know she's gonna sleep on the couch. So, alright, yep, we defeated Gleeok, and now that was level 2. So, wow, level 2 is pretty hard and everything. I wonder what level 3 is gonna have in store for us. Well, pretty much, before we get to level 3...
I know what's gonna have in store for us. I know exactly what's gonna have in store for us.
What?
A toilet where I can shit myself because, you know, it's gonna be super hard.
Yeah. But anyway, yes. But anyway, and everything. Yeah. So before we get to level 3 and everything, we do have to run some more errands and such. With this game and everything. So one of the things that I'm gonna do real quick. One of the things I'm gonna do and everything. We're gonna go back to the place to where like all the Lionels were and everything. Because there's actually a certain item I figured that like we can get right now. As long as we're like over here and such. Down and then to the left. And there we go. And we also have enough rubies as well too to get what we need and everything. And actually, you know what? I might as well show it off right here. So, fuck you too, Lionel. Pretty much right up here in this step. So pretty much right where Dungeon 6 used to be. Well, here it is. There's another secret to everybody. So, yeah, pretty much like, yeah, again, that's to show you and everything. Yeah, pretty much like, the dungeons are actually still in different locations. So, yeah, just in case, like, you need more proof to show that, like, yeah, the dungeons are actually in different locations. There you go.
Yeah. Oh boy, these guys.
Yeah.
Well, of course, here we go.
Alright, so yeah, we're gonna have to go right up here. Okay, these guys don't mind too much, because, yeah, they only take 2 hits to kill.
Yeah, they're not as bad as the blue ones, so.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I'll take them over likes any day, so.
True. Let me see if they at least...
Alright, in the meantime, I'm gonna have a quick bathroom break before we enter Dungeon 3, so.
Alright, go right ahead. Whoop. Yeah, no one needs to go avoid these guys. Alright, so we're gonna want to go up these stairs right here, and hopefully I don't die, like, during the overworld and such. I do know... Yeah, there's blue. Okay. I think I need to go one more step. It's right down here, actually. Okay. Alright, so pretty much right here, this is where we want to put the power bracelet to use. So if we push this rock right here, here it is, the letter. Now, I'm not going to buy the medicine just yet and such. We're going to hold off on the medicine for now. Well, actually, I could buy the medicine if I want to. Let me see if I remember where the shop could. Well, actually, I do know where one of the shops is, so I'll at least show that one off. And while I'm down over here anyway, I'll also show you, like, just what else, like, the recorder can do now. Because, like, if you remember in the first quest, and it's actually the same thing, too. But pretty much, if you use the recorder on any other spot and everything, then pretty much like you will actually get like pretty much you'll get warped to like all the other previous dungeons that like you completed beforehand. However, what's interesting about this quest is that like if you use the recorder on like certain locations and everything, then instead of taking you to the entrance of the dungeon in the second quest, it's going to take you to the entrance of the dungeons from the first quest. That are pretty much near to where the dungeon entrance of the second quest is. I know it sounds a little confusing, but trust me on that statement right there. All right. So if we go right over here, and actually I'm gonna wait for Barney to get back because I want him to see this too. So while I wait, I'm gonna try to kill these Lionels as best I can. Okay, I'm gonna wait for Barney to get back.
2 hours later.
I'll go ahead and show out the recorder real quick. I can always show, I can always show it to Bonnie later, so. And pretty much, he'll probably see it on playback anyway, so. Alright, if you use the recorder right here. Secret engine. So, yep. There's another way you can get your other heart container right here. Now, thankfully, there are 2 heart containers in this overworld that haven't changed places from the first quest. So pretty much like, yeah, I'll show off where those two other heart containers could be. Or at least like show off the ones that like are still there in the second quest. So alright, now that we got the heart container that we need, let's go ahead and pretty much get at least one more item that we do need before we enter the third dungeon. And while I do that, let's go ahead and bomb this wall right here. And pretty much is where we can show the old lady the letter. Hey, Menacin, before you go. Alright, we'll take this one. And we'll still have enough to get the item that we need and such. Okay, so what we're gonna need... Alright, so if we come right over here, we're gonna need to get the meat. Right, and now that we got that, we could go ahead and pretty much head on off to the third dungeon. So the third dungeon is actually gonna... Well, actually, before we get to the third dungeon, let me show off just a few more things real quick. Alright, now we played a recorder right here. Right, we get another secret patches. And right here is a secret to everybody. Okay. Actually, yeah, I'll still wait for Barney to come back. That way I can at least, like, show something off to him. So, alright, yeah. Let's go to where the third dungeon is, and it's actually located to where the second dungeon from the first quest used to be. And, yeah, the secret, yeah, one of the secrets is still over here as well, too. So you can still get your 30 rupees from here. Alright, now if we go up these stairs, instead of the usual entrance that we get for the dungeon, we get this little pond, so you know what we need to do right here. Alright, and now we can head on in. So, welcome to level 3. And right off the bat, this is going to be a very, very easy dungeon, actually. Very lenient as well, too. This is probably, like, you know, the most easiest dungeon out of the whole Zelda game. Or at least, like, you know, this Legend of Zelda game in particular. And right over here, we got new enemies. Flashing ropes this time. Pretty much they act the same as, like, normal ropes, except, for this one, pretty much, like, yeah, they're only flashing, and they're actually a little bit more stronger as well, too. So, with the white sword, they only take about, like, 2 hits. But everything else, they're still the same. So, we got the map, and it's in the shape of a letter L.
I'm back. I just saw that we entered Dungeon 3.
Yep, we did. And pretty much, like, yeah, for Dungeon 3, yeah, we need the, recorder for it. And as you yeah, as I just said, pretty much like, yeah, the shape of this dungeon is in the shape of the letter L.
Yep, I can see that. So, E-A-L. Alright, I'll start to think about that soon.
Yeah, E, A, and then an L. Now, pretty much, like, you don't have to put the letters in that order in particular, but pretty much, like, yeah, there's still a theme going on with the first 5 dungeons and everything.
Alright.
Alright, and up here, grumble, grumble.
Alright, let me translate it. I can speak Aurelia, so let me translate it.
Alright, go ahead.
Alright, it says here, let me put my glasses on. It says, why the fuck aren't you giving the expensive food?
Don't care. Go. Alright. So pretty much like, yeah. So pretty much if you don't want the dungeon item and everything, then yeah, don't bother getting the meat and such. But pretty much if you do want the dungeon item, then yeah, you are gonna have to give that Goriah the meat. Because for this dungeon item, we get the magical boomerang. So now pretty much like, yeah, we can stun enemies from far away, and like, yeah, we can now throw the boomerang across the entire screen. So yeah, like I said, this dungeon is very easy and very lenient. So easy that pretty much we're actually gonna make that pretty much like yeah, if you were to enter the dungeon right now and everything, you can actually go ahead and take on the boss right away if you wanted to, because the boss is actually right over here in the store. And it's 3 Dodongos. So pretty much just like last time, like it's up to you what you want to do with the Dodongos. So I'm gonna try not to blow it right here. And to be fair, like, you know, if I do mess it up, then like I do know where I can get some more bombs. Which, hopefully that won't be the case here, but alright. Oop. Okay, thank you. I'll take that. Alright, so we did it. So yeah, even though the heart container's right here, no Triforce. All we get so far is just a compass. So hopefully the compass will tell us where the Triforce is, but first we need to take care of these wall masters.
Be careful with them, because these guys...
We're pretty much like I said, like, you know, usually there's no bubbles and it's just the wall masters themselves, then pretty much like, yeah, this is what I always do. I always use my boomerang and then pretty much kill them. They're all gone.
That was quick.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about them. So yep, here's where there's the compass and that's where the Triforce is. You go over there and take these steps. And yeah, pretty much right off the bat as well too. Much like in the first quest, like, or at least like in the first dungeon, I should say. Pretty much right off the bat, yeah, like, you're gonna actually have to take, like, certain stairs in order to get to, like, certain sections of the dungeons and everything. So, pretty much after we kill these, Goriahs, pretty much, there you are, just where the Triforce is. So, yep, very easy, very lenient.
That was quick.
Yeah. But now Dungeon 4, on the other hand, oh boy. So before we get to Dungeon 4, I do want to get at least one more item real quick, or at least like an extra heart container, just to make it a little bit more easier. Because there's a lot of things in Dungeon 4 and everything that does make... pretty much like, yeah, Dungeon 4 is actually the main reason why, like, we have to split, like, the second quest into, like, 2 parts and such.
Oh, man. I'm very curious to see what Dungeon 4 is going to be like.
Well, before we do that, first I need to try, you know, stop being impatient and stop dying. And secondly, I do want to get, like, you know, at least, like, I do want to get at least, like, another heart container, and I know where I can get that at.